Hello, do you ever need to bring a gift to someone, or you want to offer something homemade as a housewarming gift, or you just want to get a head start on your own pantry? I'm going to teach you how to make something called batter bowl brownies. I've got a version here that's built in a quart-size Ziploc bag, and I'm going to show you two other options. These are really fun to make, especially if your family loves brownies and you want to have control over your ingredients. So you might not make them always for a gift, you might do them for yourself. So you could also build it in the small batter bowl. They're called batter bowl brownies. So I'm going to show you how to build the layers. You secure the lid. I would say you should probably tape the lid on if you're presenting it to someone that way, in case it gets tossed around, it doesn't spill. And then today I'm going to build it in our mason jar. This is part of our salad jar set, and it's the size of a mason jar. It's a little bit bigger, so I would be another option, a 1-quart mason jar. So you're going to start first with some flour. I'm using some gluten-free flour. You can use whatever flour your family likes. So I'm going to post the instructions in the comments because there's a certain way you want to layer it. So we put about a half a cup of flour in the bottom, and then I'm going to put some cocoa powder in next. But I'm going to take a little bit of it out because the recipe calls for cinnamon to help tint your sugar. I don't like cinnamon in my brownies, so I'm going to use a little bit of cocoa powder to tint my sugar, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a sec. So take the rest of your cocoa powder and just put it into your bowl. And I like to suggest that you dump it up against the side of your container so you're going to have those pretty sand layers. I've got the rest of, it's 1 1/3 cup or so of sugar, and we're going to put some plain sugar in there. I've taken some of the sugar out, about 2/3 of a cup, so I can tint it, and I'll show you. So here we go. This was the rest of the sugar and a little bit of the cocoa powder. So just stir it up. You totally don't have to do this. If I'm making it in my Ziploc bag, like I showed you in the beginning, I would skip this step. But if you're after, my dishwasher's gurgling, if you want to have kind of that variety of color in your layers, that's why you're gonna do this. Okay, so I've got the sugar and the cocoa powder kind of mixed up. And we'll put the rest in. Okay, so we can kind of start to see some layers. Now, here's where it's gonna get fun. M&Ms. I think the recipe calls for mini ones. I find that really hard to find. Whoops. M&Ms are on the floor. I'm gonna pick those up. I don't want Gracie eating that. She's already here. She was going for it. All right, so regular M&Ms. And then we're gonna go for some white chocolate chips. So throw those in. And now we're just gonna dump the rest of the flour on top. Now the recipe calls for some chopped nuts. I'm gonna skip that, but you certainly can do it. And we're gonna pour the rest of the flour in here. We wanna pat it down a little bit. Just wanna make sure it all gets in there. Now here's why I love using containers like this for these gifts. When they're finished eating it, they'll have a useful container. So that's kind of fun. So I like doing that. They're great for any gift-giving occasion. And then we're just gonna put the lid on. And there we go. We've got a nice homemade gift for someone. You see how the layers kind of form just by changing the colors a little bit? What your friend will do when they receive this, there's a tag that you can print, and I'll send you the recipe in the comments here in a little bit. All that needs to be added to this is the typical things you'd put in a brownie mix. Some oil, eggs, water, and a bit of vanilla. And I know a lot of times brownie mixes don't ask for vanilla, so if they skipped it, it wouldn't probably ruin it or anything. But it's simple things like that. So make your own mix ahead. If you just need to make them for your family, just get a bunch of quart-size Ziploc bags, make several at a time, and then you'll have a brownie mix, especially if you have dietary preferences. You can make it exactly the way you want. Will you try it? I'll post the recipe right now. Give it a shot.